Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college, and all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the 2 of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer animated feature film, Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle. If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right. For the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am super happy to be with you today. So today is our day 3, and what a wonderful speech by Steve Jobs. I wanted to start the day with you because today we're going to talk about decisions, and we're going to talk about fears that stop us from taking action on our decision, and what can be honestly more inspiring. Such a great guy. May he rest in peace. So he served us all with his vision. He serves us all with his like going for what he didn't see, how it's going to manifest, or what is this going to lead him up to. But he kept going, and this is what if you decide to be one of the top 1%, this is the way to think. I am Rasha Ilhami, if we haven't met before, if you did not join me for the past 2 days, and I am a leadership mindset mentor. I have been in leadership and self-development for almost 12 years now. I moved to Canada from Egypt 15 years ago, and with my family only, with my kids and my husband, and it was such a wonderful ride. I shifted career. I used to work for BMW as an executive for almost 12 years there. And I've been always in corporate before landing in Canada. Coming here was like a disruptor, and changes have happened immensely, and lots of setbacks, lots of success, until I really found what I am passionate about and what I can help people do, and what I really would love spending the rest of my life doing, no matter what. So today we're gonna talk like day 1. This is if you haven't joined us before. If you're joining today, this is fantastic. Welcome and nice to have you. And I'm really excited to have you with me. So day 1, we talked about creating the self-image of a trusted self-leader. And because lots of people lead, but not everyone is a great leader. So, and not everybody trust leaders. Like leaders are not always trusted. Actually, 80% of people do not trust the leaders. So, but what loyalty creates and trust creates, it creates wonderful, unstoppable teams. It creates high-performing teams. It takes you like from point A to point Z, like, excuse me, quantum leaping, not just adding. So I'm gonna share a little bit with you today about me. I'm gonna share with you, I said today is gonna be experiential, because today we're gonna break through fears that stop you from making decisions. If you are a leader and you are hesitant taking decisions, it affects your team, it affects the people around you, and they do not want to they don't look up to you. This is not coming from an ego place, it's coming from creating a legacy. Do you really want to create a legacy? Do you want to, how do you want your team remember you by? How do you want them remember, like, oh, he used to criticize, we used to avoid him, or we loved his presence, we felt really good about ourselves being with him or with her, okay? So let me start here sharing with you my slide. And sorry, let's go 1 second, guys. I have to put on my glasses, I forgot to do that. Okay, there we go. So have to go starting here. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Trusted Leader Masterclass. The masterclass is 5 days. Actually, day 5 was added based on your request, because you asked me about, like, you help clients multiply income. We want to learn about the money mindset, and this I'm going to do it on day 5 along with the Q&A as promised. And as I told you, I am a mindset mentor, and I have been a participant in lots of wonderful events, locally and internationally. I worked as well. I have spoken in corporate. I have spoken in led training for top athletes like Rami Ashur. He has like this is Rami. He invited me when I was in Egypt to host for him some training for his coaches and his for top athletes. That was a wonderful experience for me. It was like Steve said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You have to trust that they will connect, but you have to keep on going. And I never know like my passion, where is it going to take me? But I was always trusting I'm taking action every single day. This is very close to my heart because was the very first workshop I had in Canada. That's over 10 years ago, and it was a public one. I didn't know any of the attendees except like maybe 10%, and it was a huge success. At that time, it was like I had people like coming, I don't know them. They had lots of fun, and they actually worked with me after attending the workshop because it was really life transforming. So I went from when I came to Canada, there was a period in my life where I lost trust in myself. I lost it all, and my wake-up call was through a bag of milk. When I grabbed it from the store, I hit my head really hard, and I went into concussion, had to stay in bed for almost 3 months. And this was a blessing in disguise because this is when I like started asking the big questions and starting to say like, okay, like something has to be like missing. Yeah, I am the common denominator in everything happening. So if I'm not happy about it, something in me has to change. And this is when I seek mentorship. This is when I work with my mentors and I change my mindset, and it helped me to change my self-image and help me do that for my clients as well. So as Steve was saying, you do not know like where the dots are going to connect. I was like, this was not planned for me. I was asked to speak in an event. This month is Women International Day. So I was asked to speak there in the National Council for Egyptian Women. And I was honored at the end. I didn't know that I'm going to get this as an inspiring woman. That was really fulfilling. And it was like the best thing you get is when you don't expect it. This is really the best. Okay. So there we go. This is what stood out for me from the speech I shared with you before we start. We always like afraid to take action. We don't know what's the next step for us. There is uncertainty for all of us, but whatever, like those who really do it, the people who really succeed, you cannot see the future. You just have to act in faith. And when you look backward, yeah, you will say, oh, that makes sense. Oh, this is why I met her. Oh, this is why I came to see her. Or like, because I believe if you're attending with me, if you have been attending with me, and you are like feeling the connection between us, this is, I don't believe in this wonderful universe, which is so accurate and is so like working by laws that do not change. Like the season come like on a certain day, night and day. This universe is so well operated, and it is run by laws. And these laws govern our life as well. We just have to learn what these laws are and how to work with them. This is one of the things I build for my clients. This is one of the things I work about in my mentorship and help you transform your self-image, which is going to get you honestly the result. We talk in day 1 about the self-image, how we plant it as a seed. And day 2, we talked about emotional intelligence, understanding yourself. If you as a leader do not understand yourself, you cannot honestly understand your team, and you cannot understand your client, and you cannot serve them best. People, we said, we do not act on logic, we act on our emotions. And if you don't know how to be and lead with empathy, if you don't know how to not judge your team or judge your client or judge others, this means you are actually judging yourself. And it's, as we said yesterday's energy, yesterday was really cool. Like if you want to go back and watch it, all the replays are available for you on LinkedIn here, okay? So I want to start with you. Yesterday, we talked about the mental faculties, and we said we have a self-image, right? And we'll give you an image for how our mind looks like, because I cannot tell you like, okay, I keep on talking about the mind and you have no idea. Those who were not attending with me yesterday, well, it is the stick person here on the right. And we say like there is the conscious and the subconscious mind, and there is like the body is the smallest part, because the body, as we said, is like a suit that allows us to navigate Earth and to breathe and experience the wonderful life which we have, right? And as far as the mental faculties, which are we have, which separate us from over any other creatures, which give us dominion, which is imagination, the will, perception, intuition, reason, and memory. None of us learned this about in school, and we actually use them. But if you're not getting the results you want, you are using it against you, not for you. I have this image of John Kennedy and Dr. Von Braun, like he was the father of astronaut at that time. And when Kennedy asked him, like, I wanna put a man to the moon, send him to the moon, and make him come back safely, right? And what he said, Dr. Braun, like, okay, what do we need to do that? He did not tell him more certificate. He did not tell him more investment. He did not tell him any of that. He told him only 5 words, which were the will to do it. The will is one of our mental faculties, and this allows you, when you build an image, you have to have an image for what you want to achieve, and you hold the image on the wonderful screen of your mind with the will, and this is how you're gonna achieve it. So the will to do it. And he engaged everybody in his vision, like Steve Jobs engaged everybody in Apple in his vision. We're talking about leaders, and you are leaders here attending with me. So when I have a vision and I engage people in it, first it's only in your mind. You believe it. Henry Ford, when he was like, he said, like, you have to create the engine, the V8. I can see it in my mind. They said, it's impossible. Like, I can see it. He did not take a no for an answer. And his engineers kept on working, and in a year time, he had what he wanted, okay? So I want to revise really. Yesterday we talked about like the conscious and the subconscious mind. This is the base actually, guys, for our 5 days, because it's very important that you build the self-image of the kind of leader you want to be. And as I mentioned, the conscious mind is the logical. We only operate from it by 5%. It has all the information, the PhDs, the master degrees. It doesn't have, and it's hooked to, like, it hooks you to life through the 5 senses, not the 6 mental faculties, the 5 senses: see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, like the animals. So this doesn't separate us, all right? For the subconscious part, guys, this is where your self-image is hidden. And I'm saying hidden because nobody knows what their self-image is. But if you are not sure what is your self-image, I want you to do this exercise. I'm all about giving you tools, guys. So I want you to write down the results you have currently in your life, in your relationships, in your income, in your career, in whatever, like your vacations, whatever area is important for you, your self-care. Write the results right now, because I said yesterday, we can never ever outperform our self-image. Like Dr. Maxwell Maltz taught us in his phenomenal book, Cybernetics, that was published in 1962 and was a revolution in self-development and understanding how to change your results. Okay, so I want you here, if you haven't done the exercise, and if you're attending with me today the first time, today is about decisions. So I want you first to operate from a self-image that you choose, like, because right now, whatever you have is like, it happened like this. Let me share with you. From 0 to 8, we said the conscious mind was not there. It was all wide open like a sponge. And we are all 50-50, 50 parents from our mom and dad, okay? And they are 50 from their mom and dad, both sides. So whatever idea subconsciously we were programmed, where we operate from up to date, which has our self-image and our current results, is actually dictated by beliefs of people who did not live our lives. So this is like really, really, I need to stop here. Are you aware that you are running your life on autopilot, programmed by other people who you did not even choose that? That's why I told you yesterday, come today with a decision, with a goal you wanted to achieve, and you have been procrastinating and not taking action, because the intention of today is for you to take action on your goal. All right. So this is how it was. It was open from 0 to 7. So programmed like a sponge, absorbed everything. And just like that's why you talk the way your parents talk. That's why you speak the language your parents speak. That's why we are even genetically programmed. That's why you look like your parents, right? So whatever, like, look at if you observe the people who were like in your early life, what they do and what they believe, you will find that this is what is running your life. Okay, so if I say, for example, money is the root, many of you would continue, the root of all evil. Were we all raised in the same house? No, but this is programming, conditional programming, running our results, which you may not be happy about, okay? So I want to share with you today like inspiring stories for you, not just to motivate you. I want you really to sink in deep and to relate. This is Kyle Maynard. Kyle Maynard was born as a quadruple amputee. It means his legs and feet were not complete, and that he was born like this. Well, he had two choices. He could have said like, I am a loser, I cannot succeed at anything, I need people to do everything for me. That's not him. He was the first quadruple amputee to climb Mountain Kilimanjaro, one of the highest mountains in the world, without using any prosthetics, without a prosthetic. So, and not only that, he travels the world speaking and inspiring people not to believe in their limiting beliefs. So, because like if you say I can't, just remember this wonderful, inspiring guy, Kyle Maynard. Well, the Wright brothers. I want to share with you from history. The Wright brothers, by the way, they were bike mechanics. They were not even like engineers, all right? And their father was a priest, a holy man, like a man of God, all right? And when they said like we wanna fly, we wanna create something that fly, they did not have wonderful circumstances. Their dad said, you know what? You are gonna rot in hell, because if God wanted us to fly, He would have created wings for us. So circumstances was not congenial at all. They were actually like they were in pretty bad shape. If we're talking about, oh, they had the education, they didn't. Versus this is Samuel Langley. Samuel Langley as well had the idea of creating an engine that flies, but he wasn't like them. He was a physicist. He was teaching in university, and he had the media attention. So they were following him. They want to see what he's gonna create, what he's gonna do, how he's gonna. So he had media coverage, he had the education, he was funded, like he had it all. For them, they had every reason, honestly, to fail. For him, he had every reason to win. Simple, like logic. We talked about the logical and the illogical. I always say do the illogical, because the logical is what's stopping us. So for the Wright brothers, they created the engine that only like that flew, and like it was there up in the air for running for 12 seconds. So when it fell after that, they say not only did we fly, we stayed there 12 seconds. That's the mindset of a winner. For Langley, when he had his engine ready, it just like he tested it on a river, it drowned and crashed. Well, at that time, he gave up. When they succeeded, his ego at that time prevented him from saying like, okay, like I can start from where they ended and I can build up, but he quit. And we don't remember him as much as we do remember them. They were driven by a passion. They were driven by a dream. Everybody was like involved with them. He had all the reasons. So it's not more certificate, it's not more education that's gonna get you the results you want when you decide your goals. It is what really like why you want to do it, your passion. Why do you want to do it? Like this is very important, guys. Yesterday as well, I touched base with you that when we know our why, we are clear on what we're gonna get. And even our clients and our team members, they know, oh, this is the values. We are clear. This is the mission of the company. This is the mission. We know we are driven by vision. So anything else I'm going to exclude. Like I gave yesterday an example of the supermarket. If I am a vegan and I go to the supermarket, definitely I'm not going to buy meat. People who are watching my basket, they know like I don't eat meat. I am clear. So there is no confusion. I am not like dabbling, right? Because you may get advice from people who achieved results, but they don't, and you may copy them, but your why is different than theirs. It will work for them, it will not work for you. So you have to be very clear on why you do what you want and clear on what kind of leader you want to show up as. Okay. There we go. I would love to share with you this lady. Her name is Catherine Lanigan. Catherine, because I work with many people, top performers, all right? And at some point they had the self-doubt. It happens. Like we are humans, so it happens. It's human nature. So this is one of the examples I use always in my live workshops, and I'd love to share with you today. So Catherine Lanigan, she is actually the author of The Jewel of the Nile. It's a novel that turned to a movie. But did it start like this glamorous and fun? No. When she was in university, she actually got a scholarship to go to university because she was an excellent, fabulous writer. So she went to university because of her scholarship and her excellence and extraordinary skills at writing. On that day, one of the days, they were visited by a professor from Harvard. So professor from Harvard is an authority figure. She's looking up to him. He gave them a test. When she handed her writing, like he gave them a story to write, when she did hand it in, very confidently, he gave her, when she got the degree, she got a D. She failed. And she said, how come? Like I even got a scholarship in order to join university here. How come I failed? He said, you're the worst writer ever. She said, like, you cannot give me a D. I will lose my scholarship. He said, okay, I'm going to give you a C plus so you pass, but you have to promise me never to write again. And that's an authority figure. And she trusted him. And as I showed you here, guys, like the subconscious mind, when it's open, is like a sponge. And the information, when it comes from an authority figure, because all these were authority figure in our life, we just absorb it. So for Catherine, what she did, she believed what he said. She took it in. She went home. She had a box on top of her cupboard, which is full of stories she did write and wanted to publish one day. She burned it all and she forgot about it, and she changed her major so that she can finish her degree. 14 years later, 14 years later, she was in Mexico. She saw a group of people filming a movie, and she went and talked to them like, well, I said, like, I'm so fascinated by what you do. I really would love to do what you are doing right now. She was talking about writing scripts. And well, the director told her, well, you're a liar. And she said, excuse me. He said, like, if you really wanted something, you would have pursued it. So here is a question for you. Are you pursuing what you want? He said, I'll give you something. Send me one of your scripts and I will give you an honest opinion. If it doesn't work, I will tell you. She sent him one. Took her a while to write one, but she sent it to him and he kept his promise. This script is now a movie. I'm just telling you, like, because an authority figure tell her she cannot do, she gave up on her dream. Think about it yourself. Who told you that you can't do anything? They start a company on your own. That's like you're gonna lose. 99% of them like lose. This idea is crazy. Many people did this before. Whatever has been told to you and you believed and accepted in yourself, this is how you operated. So you did not take action on it. All right. So we talked yesterday about Bethune. I really, really loved this guy because he was really courageous. He had an idea in his mind that said, like, you cannot, whatever the mind conceive and believe, it must achieve. That's a quote by Napoleon Hill. And for Bethune, when he joined the Continental Airlines, the people working there were ashamed to say, I work for the Continental. Imagine how bad that was. Okay, so it was they were at the end of the list for planes taking off, like for planes, like for airlines, the most important thing, that the plane take off on time, right? It was the worst for them, the worst grading for them. So what did he do? Did he say like, I'm not going to take it, I'm going to continue with the policy? He had an image of seeing this company a great success. Some of the people who worked there did not believe that, and they resigned. They did not align with his policy. Some people wanted to work with him, and most of them stayed. So what did he do? He had an open door policy. He went to talk to the flight attendants, and he went to carry luggage with the people who carried the luggage. He talked to everyone. He knows what they want. He knows what was stopping them. He eliminated like the closed door policy, like the top floor for the executives and nobody goes there. It was an open for everyone. What he did as well, he said like he engaged them, and that's what trusted leaders do, who wants to create a legacy. This guy took his company from last to first. So he said like, okay, we are last on a schedule. If all of you, if we hit the target on top for flying on time and we move up the scale, you will get $65 every month. We get recognized for that for every single employee. There were thousands of employees. It cost him $2.5 million. But when they were losing, it was costing them $5.5 million. So he thought like, I'm putting people first. When I put people first, they will serve clients better. And this was his policy. And this is like, if you want to be a trusted leader, do you put your team first? Do you have empathy? Yesterday we talked about that. If you want to go back to it, do you understand? You come from a point of understanding and giving them the safety that they can ask questions and they can make mistakes, and that's okay. That's how they learn. Okay, so what he did as well, like he sent them this check, not included with the salary. It was a separate check with a thank you note. Thank you for taking us to be in the top list. Thank you for caring about the company. So the people really wanted to serve. They are part of the vision of the company. So do you have a vision, a clear vision, and you engage your team with it? Do you have that? Because these are things that trusted leaders, the top 1%, do. Okay? Let's talk here like about decisions. Decisions, people do not act on their decisions for many reasons. One of them is definitely fear. Napoleon Hill, in his wonderful book, Think and Grow Rich, he said there are 6 major types of fear. And one of them, like, guys, I want you all to like put yourself, which one is dominant for you? Number 1, fear of poverty, because this leads to procrastination. You are not decisive. Today is about decision, and people settle for less. Second one is the fear of criticism. And because you think too much about what other people think of you and you're afraid to be rejected, tomorrow is our day about dealing with rejection and how to handle that. If you attend to me with me tomorrow, this is our day. And fear of ill health, like this, we all experienced that during coronavirus. And it was very stressful and people had lots of anxiety. There were like depression was on the rise at that time. Fear of loss of love. And when people, this is like manifesting the behavior of people who are really jealous and want to control everything. Fear of old age, we all know about that, and fear of death. And even people who wants to go to heaven do not want to die. So I want you to be clear on what goal you would love to achieve. I want you to write it down because I want you to make the decision. I am done with my life. I want to I've lived like this for a long time. I want to be a trusted leader. I want to act on my decision fearlessly. All right. So write a goal down now. Write it down, whatever it is. If I want it to be, the more audacious it is, the better. Okay. So I want you to remember this when you come to take action. If you are worried about the opinion of others, this is Roosevelt and his phenomenal speech when he said, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, the one who's pointing finger and who's making fun and laughing at you. This is not the one who counts. Okay? It's the doer of deeds who could have done them better. The credit always belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. Ask yourself, am I in the arena? Am I taking steps in order to make my dream come true? Am I doing this or I'm afraid? I'm afraid of what people will think of me, of criticism, of failure, of losing money. What is your fear which is stopping you? Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spend himself in a worthy cause. As I said, like having a cause, having a why you're doing what you're doing, like the Wright brothers involved everybody in their dream. Langley was about fame. They were about a dream and a passion to fly. He was like, he wanted his name to be remembered. It was ego driven. So he's not as remembered as much as they were. And they were bike mechanics guys. They were not even engineers. They kept on studying the wind, the gliders. They kept on trying until they made it fly. Not only fly, but stay there for 12 seconds. That was their mindset. So he said here as well, never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Here I want to ask you, like the people who may be scaring you, I'll stop here. The people who may be scaring you or not letting you take action could be your parents, could be your loved ones, could be your friends that you have been friends with for a long time. Not because they hate you or they do not want you to do something. They act like your brain trying to prevent you from experiencing risk. Risk for them is labeled as a threat. It's like yesterday we talked about if you live 24 hours in constant panic or stress, this chronic stress will lead to mental illness, will lead to losing as well, like to diseases, chronic diseases. If you want to go back, it's on day 2 and it's available for you in the replay. So all I want for you guys now, I hope you have your goal written right now. If you want to share it with me in the chat, who's attending with me, please write in the chat. If you want to share it with me and send me a DM, please share it with me. I celebrate you. I am here to tell you go for it. I'm not going to give you all like the reasons not to follow through. So right now I'm going to share with you a video for Will Smith. This is awesome. And he talks about fear and it is so motivational. I want you while watching the video to have on mind what is the goal or the decision that you have been putting off for a while and you haven't taken action on it. Write it down right now before watching, and I'll ask you after you watch, how do you feel? Because you will take action today. I promised you yesterday, you will gonna take action on it. So let me go back and share this with you. Second, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I have to close this one. Sorry. Well, there we go.
I have a confession to make.
I'm sorry
Not
about
that long
that,
ago,
guys.
I had a realization that totally felt like a 2x4 hit me in the face.
Okay.
Skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear. I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up. You go out the night before and you take a drink with your friends and somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. And you go, yeah. And everybody goes, yeah. And you go home by yourself, you're like, Right? You're like, well, I mean, they was drunk too. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that. So you get there and then you have this safety brief and you're standing there and the guys will tell you, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's gonna happen is well, why the hell, what could happen? So you get onto the airplane and you're sitting there and you know, it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger, trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet and somebody opens the door. And in that moment, you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Terror, 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 terror. And then people start going out of the airplane. the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing and your toes are on the edge and you're looking out down to death. They say on 3. 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. And you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. There's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear. That was my experience with skydiving and fear.
All right. Okay. Hello. So after watching, you see, like my takeaway from this video, honestly, every time I see it, like it really, it touches me. So let's say the point of maximum danger, where it was the point where there was minimum fear. And he said, like, why was I scaring myself yesterday in bed? Why was I like scaring the heck out of me? So I want to ask you the same question. What's the goal? What's stopping you from taking action on it? If like people do not know, like we started with Steve Jobs and I said, like, we cannot connect the dots looking backward. We always have to connect them looking forward, like looking forward, the opposite. I'm sorry. We cannot connect the dots looking forward. We have to connect them, but like we have to know that they will connect. So if I look backward, I know this is when I met this mentor, or this is when when I met this guy. It's no coincidence when you meet somebody who's going to introduce you to somebody who's going to land you the job or the position or the job opportunity that you would love to have, or who would start a business with you. You may be like sitting next to maybe your life partner on a plane. You don't know, but you have to trust it's going to connect. That's all you have to do. So my question for you, what is it that you have been putting off for a while? Is it like, what are you afraid of? Is it fear of poverty? Or I'm not sure, the investment is not guaranteed. Well, I want to tell you and be honest with you, nothing in life is guaranteed. And change is a way of like, this is universal law. Change is inevitable. If you are resisting change, you will be suffering. You will be wasting your energy, not investing it towards your goal and towards achieving what you want. That's why you're leaking energy, like you're leaking. So what are you bleeding, hemorrhaging energy, focused on your fear versus focusing and investing your time and energy into building your dream or your goal. So where are you and what is stopping you? Afraid of what? What is the worst? Ask yourself, what is the worst could happen? Like, I always love when like there's, I'm not sure about the wording of the quote, but say like the worst moment are like, and the richest places, sorry, is the graveyard. This is where dreams die. It's not like people did not, they buried their dreams. Like it's a very rich place. Lots of books were not written. Lots of ideas were not executed. Lots of dreams were buried with them. And it's the richest place. Why? Because they are afraid of people, what the people will think of us. Tomorrow we're covering what people will think of you. And remember Roosevelt said, like, the arena belongs to those who sweat. Like the critic is like, he's just like the people who are watching you. There is a psychology for the critic. The critic is just like, he doesn't have the power or the will, or he's envious of you taking an action, because when you take action and you're in the arena and he sees you succeeding or taking steps, this hits him hard because he's not taking action on his dream. You believed in yourself. and he's envying you for that. He has the concept, guys, of like the seesaw. You know the seesaw, like the kids? So in order, the seesaw one has to be up and for the other one to be down. When the kids are playing, we all know that. We have done it all when we were babies, right? So for the critic, he feels like, and this is not a trusted leader or a leader philosophy, but some are like this. That's why I said everybody can lead, but not everybody is a really good leader. So for him to stay up, he has to put you down. But the great leader will pull you up with him. Why? Because they believe in abundance mindset. By that I mean, like, it's like the portion, the pie is big. If I succeed and I share my success, and success leaves clues, lots of people left us out their books, lots of mentors are available to help. I am available to help. Like, the success leaves clues. So we really rise by helping others. We do not rise by putting others down. And people who do that are not confident. They are like afraid of something in you is threatening them, or something in you is making them lose control. So instead of controlling themselves, because if I want to be really a trusted leader, that people love to follow me and not follow me because they have to, well, I have to learn to lead myself. How do I lead myself? Am I in control of my thoughts? Am I in control of my emotions? Because if I am not in control of these two, then I cannot expect to be a good leader to others. If I, like, for anything, I burst, and I'm angry at that, and I burst at him, and I have no patience to listen to people, understand them, no emotional intelligence, then how am I supposed to be like a trusted leader? It's not going to happen. That's not a trusted leader. Okay, guys? So let me share with you here. I hope this is making sense. And I want you right now to say, okay, what is my fear? Pick one of the 6 fears I shared with you. Be honest. Okay, be honest with yourself. The idea, as long as it's here and it's not like, if it doesn't go through the emotional mind, you're not going to act on it. You have really to love it. That's why Steve Jobs, when he had his speech, was saying, like, I was lucky, I did what I love, and that's what kept me going. This is to be studied, honestly. Okay, so let me share with you here. So 1 second. Present for you. So this is Orrin Hudson. He was a world champion in chess. He said something very important. He said, like, if you have all the numbers and you have a lock, you will never open the lock if you don't have the right combination for the numbers, or the order of the numbers for the lock. It will never open. And there is a combination lock order for success. Like, if I want to succeed, first of all, I have to build the image of what I want. I have to have first clarity. What do I want? I want you to ask yourself, what do I want? Not what your parents want, not what your spouse want, not what your kids want. What do you really want? What inspires you? What makes you like feel like I'm happy doing that? Because lots of things you can do and you are not aware. When you cannot negotiate your price with your boss, or you cannot ask for the money you know you are worthy of. If you were attending with me yesterday, I sent for attendees a script of how to know your value. If you want that, tell me, Rasha, I want the script. It was written by Earl Nightingale. He's the father of self-development, and it shows you how worthy you are and how you underrate and underestimate your value, afraid to negotiate something which you are worth more like 100x, not only even 10x. Okay? So this is how 1% leaders make the decision. This passage was from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this guy, if you don't know him, he was working in a newspaper. He was very young, and at that time there was Andrew Carnegie. He was the richest man in the world at that time. All his money was way more than what the United States, all of it, had in their safe. He exceeded that. He was really a billionaire for his time, and Napoleon was just like interviewing him. He didn't know what he had in his mind. He didn't know what Andrew Carnegie was thinking in his mind. He just went to have an interview with him for 3 hours. But at the end of the interview, Napoleon Hill met the criteria of what Andrew Carnegie was looking for. Andrew Carnegie has a plan in mind. He wanted someone to dedicate his life studying the lives of rich people and successful people, and because they will go to the grave and we're not going to know the secret. And this is what he did in this book. So he told him, Napoleon, I have a mission for you. I'm going to invite you to my day 3 days. And while getting to know him more, he became more assured that this is the guy who can do the mission. So he said, listen, I'm going to give you connections, my card only to the connections that people, the successful people that I want you to study their life. Among these people, by the guy is Edison. Among these people, guys, is Henry Ford, is Roosevelt. Like, it was a big list, 500 very successful people. And Napoleon was like, and I said, like, Andrew Carnegie was very rich. He said, without taking any penny from me, you have to make it for yourself. All you're going to get from me is only just the letter of recommendation, and you go and find your way. And you have to put the philosophy of success in a book and dedicate your life like for this purpose. Napoleon at that time was broke. He had nothing in his pocket. He was living on the couch of his brother. He had no money. And he's young. He has nothing. If you were in his position, what would you say to this offer? Most people would say no. Not only say no, Napoleon said yes after less than 30 seconds. He didn't know that Andrew Carnegie was timing him. He told him after he agreed that in 60 seconds, if you were going to go after 60 seconds, you were already excluded from the mission. So this is why I'm telling you the story, for you to know, like, guy who was broke, because studying the laws of success, you will never, it must rub off on you. You will be successful. So he took it. So he said, analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortune beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly. So that's what I'm telling you. Do you make your decision fast? Do you procrastinate? How long have you been waiting? Has some people, like Steve was saying, like, every day I wake up for the past 33 years. If today was the last, and I ask myself, if today was the last day in my life, will I be excited about what I'm going to do? And if the answer is no in a row, for a few days in a row, few days, guys, some people live their whole life. Some people spend decades not happy about what they are doing or where they are. Okay, he knew something has to change. And of changing the decision slowly, it means they never change the decision, or even if they have to change, it's very slowly. They make it quickly and they never change. And if they ever change, okay, people who fail to accumulate money without exception have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. So here is my question for you. How fast do you make your decisions? How long does it take you to make a decision? Do you have to ask every single person what I need to do? What do you think? Should I take this offer? Should I invest in myself? Do you wait for others to decide for you? Or you can take your decision and say, like, I am done with asking people. Because if you're taking your advice from people who are, by the results, are not achieving anything, I'll tell you where they are going. You're going to go in circles like them. You're not going to go anywhere. Pick a mentor who showed by results what they can do. Invest in yourself with them because they know they can help you. And I did this for myself. It was very scary. When I invested in myself, I didn't have all this money to invest, like 20K or 18K or 10K. Like, once you start, you'll start investing more because you will reap the effects of that. Okay, so because mentors collapse time and money for us, they give us their expertise, they invested, they did the big investment, and they are making stuff for you easy. What you need years to understand, you can get it in one class. You can get it in 1 hour with them. It's worth you. People would do, like, if their kids, God forbid, nothing is moving except his finger. They would beg, they would steal, they would do anything to have the money to make him move. But the sad thing is people do not invest to move themselves because they have to invest in their mindset. If you don't invest in yourself, you are your biggest asset, by the way. You are taking you everywhere. And I shared with you, and I'm going to share with you, like how my client changing their self-image, they transform the results from 30K to multiple 6x figures per year. From an employee who cannot look people in the eye to a top management position. From a freelancer with no steady income to a six-figure earner with an overseas contract, and others and others and others. Okay, I'm gonna share with you here because I want to inspire you. I want you to take action. I want you to write down what action can I take today that can change my life. Okay, so this is how my mentorship works. Those who want to work with me, this is how I help you. I help you. It has 4 pillars. Number 1, clarity on your goal, because many of you will change their goals because your goal is decided by what you think you can achieve. And this, I'm going to do it for you guys on day 5 while we're talking about money mindset. So I'll help you how to decide on a money goal. We're going to talk about money because it's measurable, okay? And of course, a big component pillar is self-image. Building the belief, because while building the belief, you have to believe. Belief must precede manifestation. What does that mean? Before I want to make the millions, I have to believe that I am worthy of the millions and I can achieve them. How does this work? Working on your mindset, because if you approach the project with the mindset, I am defeated, I cannot do this, this is hard for me, even if you have the knowledge, it's not what's going to decide the results. If you have a lack mindset and you do not know how to build this, then when you talk to people, your energy will reflect your lack, and people are not going to give you what you really want, and they're not going to work with you. Who wants to work with somebody who is inside being conflicted, no clarity? So when my mind is not aligned with what I want in my heart of hearts, as the Greek says, then I will have mixed signals sent to the person in front of me, and I'm not going to land what I want. So those who decide would love to explore this with me, I am opening my calendar for one-on-one call to see if we are a good fit to work together, because without changing your self-image, nothing is going to change. And I'm going to tell you honestly, you're not gonna lose anything. This is a no string attached call. I'm just gonna see if we're fit to work together, and I believe, I know I can help you. I will definitely tell you what's best for you. I love Rauda so much. I shared with you. Rauda is a 180-degree shift. When we work together, she has been following me, and she came to workshops for me like this one, but it was in person as well. And she at that time couldn't make even eye contact. I love her so much. Today I am sharing with you as well. Those who are on my email list who are attending with me, I will send you her success story, the video we had together, because she couldn't attend with us. She's now traveling to the States because she has to lead teams there as well. And I am super proud of her, from not being able to make eye contact, from having 0% efficiency, lack of motivation, from trying to seek counsel from other coaches and therapists. It didn't help her at all. Working together, she's now in the top management. She's now pursuing her PhD. I'm call her now PhD already in advance, because it's her final days and she's gonna get it. And she has been a total transformation. She was not able to speak in front of her colleagues at work to do a good presentation. Her presentation now is being taught in North America, not just in Canada, in North America. So I am super grateful to work for someone like this. When we worked, she was not there. She was not the six-figure earner. She was not the top management leader. She was not there. Just working together, guys. 4 months made the shift, along with following up with me. And she worked with me several times, but the last time when we worked one-on-one, where the major shifts happened for her. Another example, like I told you, what is happening is, remember we talked about the acorn seed, this oak is inside this. No other telescope will dissect it for you, no matter how advanced it is, guys, okay? So that's why the self-image, I have to have clarity what I have planted in my mind before I start to take action on it. Otherwise, I cannot operate a six-figure earner or a seven-figure earner on the image of a 4 or a 3K earner. Okay, guys? Another example is Shahi. Shahi is like, she shifted career. Now she landed a wonderful position overseas, top management, leading teams. So from freelancing to leading teams with a contract, and even she has been there for a few months, they are offering her a higher promotion as well. So how did this all happen? Guys, like, there is something I can help you with. I do not own your success. You own it. You are the heroes. I cannot do that. I just guide you. So I would love, I love this quote, guys. You can never change things by fighting the existing reality. That's why people try to work harder, do more of the same. You're not going to change anything. You have to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. That's by Dr. Buckminster Fuller. And this quote is a life changer for myself because I was trying to fight reality. I was trying to change stuff, not my way, like my way or the highway, but working on myself, seeking mentorship, cut it down for me. Okay, guys, that's my beloved client. Salwa was my very first one. We worked together for a while, and she wanted to change careers from a KG teacher in order to be like, she wanted to be a real estate agent. She had a passion for that, but she didn't know how. Right now, she is a diamond earner, a diamond award real estate agent. And those in the real estate understand this is a top position. And she has multiplied her income 10, 12, 15 times. God bless her. I love her and her clients love her. And I am forever grateful that I work with ladies like her. Okay, guys? So right now, I have a question for you. What is stopping you from achieving the goal you want? If you know what to do, you would have done it by now. Seeking guidance and mentorship is fantastic. It's a great idea. And you are the one to reap the results. I don't own your success, guys. I don't own your success. You own it. And I celebrate you along the way because after you discover how to do it, after you change your self-image, after you know how you did it the first time, you will keep upgrading it year after year after year, and you will be celebrated and your income will multiply. We'll talk about income and goals on day 5, money goals and money paradigms on day 5, along with answering the questions I received. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to talk about the fear of rejection and how to handle that for you and for your team as a leader, because people do not listen to what you say. People listen to your energy behind what you say. And to be a trusted leader, you have to have like water, guys. Water is very strong, it's transparent, and it's just like it can. My apology, guys. I'm fasting, so I cannot drink. I'm sorry. And I cannot, like, sometimes I would do that. My apology for that. But I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm full energy, and I'm with you here to answer your question and to support you on your journey. So please, please, please make sure I have the workbook downloaded for you. I send it every day as a reminder for only those who signed up. And this is a free challenge, just only 5 days, guys. But are you attending to change your life, or are you attending to gather information? Are you attending for transformation or just for more information? Because from day one, I said, if you want change, right? Type for me the word change here for the attendees on Zoom with me. Change. Yeah, if you're ready, if you're serious about change, I told you, I am opening my schedule. So you can schedule a free call with me to tell you like 25 minutes, 30 max. I'm going to tell you, like, walk you through the steps, see what's stopping you and how I can help you, because I know I can help you. I know I can help you. Okay. And then I said, it's a no string call. Just make it. Honor yourself, make the decision like, I want to achieve this and I have been waiting for long. I want someone who showed by results, they can help me. Take this initiative. You're not going to lose anything and you have everything to gain and to celebrate. All right. So that's a wrap for day 3, making decisions without fear. I want you to go through it again, watch it again. The replay will be available for you here on LinkedIn. You can just rewatch. And I want you to answer the questions for day 3, because every day builds on the previous day. And through this work, you get to realize what's stopping me. And I, as well, I gave feedback to those who send me their assignment, and I'm going to give you feedback in our meeting. But be ready with the workbook and tell me, Rasha, this is what I found. I don't know how to do it. And I am here to serve you. And I would love to do that because this is really my passion. This is connecting the dots, looking backwards. Everything I have been through my life led me to this spot in order to understand how you feel and to help you and serve you on a deeper level that's going to create transformation that lasts, not just like motivation. Motivation, guys, is like taking a shower. You're hyped up and then you go astray. But when you understand spiritual laws, when you understand the power of your self-image, when you understand you are inspired, in spirit, coming from inside out, it's not outside in jobs, inside out job, and you can do it. I did it, my clients did it, lots of people did it, and I am passionate about helping people who really, really are willing to go the extra mile. So I don't know, are you? Are you the person who goes the extra mile or not? If you are, I am happy to help and I would love to talk to you soon. And tomorrow I'm seeing you guys. We'll talk about rejection. And last day, we're going to talk about money paradigms and building the abundance mindset along answering your questions. Thank you so much for those who are tuning with me. Have a wonderful day and sending you all a big hug and see you tomorrow, 2 p.m., same time EST. Have a good one. Bye-bye.